My name's Chris, and welcome to the Nimbus Marketing Podcast. In today's episode, we interview Blair Lee from Venture Out Vegas. Welcome to the Nimbus Marketing Podcast. My name is Chris, and I'm here joined by my very special guest, first actual guest on the show. It's Blair Lee from Venture Out Vegas. Tell everybody hi, Blair.
Hey, everybody.
All right. Well, if you haven't seen our content from before, we actually did an episode where we did a review of the website, actually a review of the logo concepts from Venture Out Vegas. We were talking about those stages where we were. We've come a long way since then. And so, Blair, Tell us a little bit about the brand, how it came to be Venture Out Vegas, how we know each other, and just what was the process, what all these different things. We're going to cover all these over the course of the episode here, but what is Venture Out Vegas? What do you guys actually do?
So I am a tour operator here in Las Vegas, Nevada, and basically what I'm doing is kayak tours through the Colorado River. So directly south of the Hoover Dam, we do tours that go to some pretty amazing spots. Some of those spots do include Emerald Cave, a nice secluded beach for some picnic. Also the hot springs out here, which is really neat. And then also I do offer a Hoover Dam kayak. And then I also, with that, do hiking tours. We have some great hiking out here. Valley of Fire, Lake Mead. So we have some pretty awesome stuff out here.
Very cool. Very cool. So There's hiking, there's kayaks, there's a whole bunch of other things. Go ahead.
Yeah, that's just the start of it. Hopefully within the next couple of years, we'll be introducing a lot more to the adventure scene out here. So we will cover all the adventure needs that you could ever want or need while out in Vegas.
Very cool. Now, Vegas, the phrase is what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. People go to the Strip, they go to gamble, they go to see the big shows there, eat at the fancy restaurant. It's not something that people think about, when they think of Vegas. They're thinking of all the lights and the flashy stuff. And you're talking about, connecting with nature and really just getting quiet, so to speak. How did that come about? Where did the idea come from for that?
Yeah, absolutely. So, we have over 42 million visitors every year to Las Vegas. You step off the plane, you've got your casino literally in the airport. Like, you literally get off the airplane before you even leave the airport. You have slots right there at your terminal.
Wow.
Right. But you keep walking, and right off the escalator there at McCarran Airport, which is the Vegas airport, they have a huge outdoor nature scene that incorporates Red Rock Canyon. And it really instills in you that not only do you have the slot machine, but you also have a side of nature. And really, when I first moved to Vegas, my first year, I actually hated Vegas.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I did everything to get out. I actually moved to Australia. The second I was done with some of my education, I moved to Australia. And when I moved back, what ended up happening was, before I moved to Australia, a couple of weeks before, my roommate at the time took me to Red Rock. And I actually fell in love with it out there. And we also went to Zion a couple of days later. And that's when I actually fell in love with Vegas. I was like, wow, this whole time I thought it was just the Strip. And that really is what got me into loving Vegas. And now I want to share that passion with others that come out here.
That's pretty awesome. And not something that you hear from a lot of people. I have friends who got married in Vegas. I have a stepbrother who got married in Vegas.
Yeah.
Just people going out, my mom and my stepdad, they went out there, and some guy stopped him on the street. Hey, you guys married? Yeah, to each other. It's just
Yeah, yeah.
it's so weird. But
No,
talking about connecting with nature, going on these hiking trails, kayaking. I think you mentioned even photo tours are people do that there. So what
yeah.
who finds themselves coming to Vegas to go hiking or kayaking? Who is it that you've encountered that are like, I really just want to unplug from the strip?
Yeah, so absolutely. So right now I've been predominantly focusing on locals.
Mm,
And that's only because, obviously being out here for so long, I have so many connects on Facebook and Instagram, all the social media platforms. And when they've seen my stuff up, they're like, where is that? And I was like, let's go, I'll show you.
mm,
So it's been a cool experience because they've been hooking me up with their friends and, their family when they come in town. And then dealing with a lot of different clientele from all over the world for so long. Like I've
mm.
gotten so many bites. Uh, yeah, it's just a bit of everybody, to be honest. Last year we had over 7 million visitors here for conventions alone.
Wow.
Right. So imagine your business in 5 years when you become top 500, top Fortune 500 company, because I know you will be.
Well, thank you for the vote of confidence.
Your star employees, you're gonna probably want to be like, hey, let's go ahead and celebrate our success this year, and you bring them out to Vegas.
Mm,
Um, and that clientele alone is pretty awesome because not only do companies want somebody that will do adventurous things, but also want a team building exercise. And
mm.
that's definitely a market that I'll definitely be capitalizing on at some point. But, being so small, it is kind of difficult to hit all these different markets.
That's pretty
But
interesting that you mention the team building exercise, the corporate market that you want to try and target, because, like you said, so many people come to Vegas for conventions or for conferences.
yeah,
Have you reached out to anybody, there? I mean, you've been speaking with locals and showing them, the beauty and of the nature of Nevada. But have you reached out to any business professionals in your area?
I did when I was with a different company
Mm,
before I ventured on to being by myself. And I was actually in a partnership, and
mm,
that went sideways really bad and really quickly. But such is life. But before we kind of separated, took different paths, I had connected with some very influential business owners and
oh, very nice.
also people that deal with third party organizations such as myself.
Mm,
So yes, to answer your question.
yeah. Well,
But
very cool.
currently actually I'm even today I my phone was going off the hook. I think Yelp being having such great reviews, TripAdvisor,
Mm,
my phone's been blowing up. Uh,
that's a good problem to
actually,
have.
yeah, yeah, really good problem to have actually.
Good
So
deal. So
yeah.
there's people that are coming and they're, like you said, your phone's blowing up, you're scheduling tours. What kind of experiences are these people left with? Why, what makes them go on a hike and, challenge themselves to do something that they wouldn't normally do?
Hmm. That's a hard question, but definitely, when people think of Vegas, like you said earlier, they think of the fine dining, they think of the gambling, the partying. Um, but I think in this day and age, that's not what's in. To be honest, I
Very
think
interesting.
I think the social media has kind of driven people to getting outdoors and experiencing life, getting that Instagram worthy photo, to be honest, which is great in an aspect. I know a lot of people kind of downplay social media, because a lot of people get drawn into it and can't get off. But the people that can get off go outdoors, so then they can post on there.
It's very true.
It's a double-edged sword there.
Yeah, I don't mean to interrupt, but like that, you touched on a very good point that you said partying, till you drop basically is not in. It's getting outdoors and connecting with something bigger than yourself is in. Let's go deeper on that, because I think that's going to bring a lot of value to people who are listening. What is it about that why do you think it is that partying has, it's not all gone, because, I see people
not at all
the time, but we can definitely see a rise in the trend of getting outdoors and traveling the world. People are posting pictures of that all the time. What is it that has caused that uptick, in disconnecting from the party scene and, doing whatever else they're doing, posting these amazing pictures? What is it about that? Is the party life not that appealing anymore? Or, what is it about that?
To be honest, working in nightclubs for so long, don't get me wrong, partying is by no means dead, and doesn't show any interest in slowing down. But I think it's also that point where people are not sick of it per se, because they're still partaking, but they want to experience life. And, like I said, to go get that one Instagram photo, I think it's more of somebody would rather take a picture of Emerald Cave as opposed to at a nightclub, or both, to be honest. Try to jam pack their schedule and get their nightclub photo of them popping bottles, and then the next day a picture in the cave.
Very interesting. Well, and that's, that's what people are going to do.
Yeah.
So getting that Instagram photo that, it's interesting how social media is actually driving people to go outside, where as our parents and even our grandparents will try and blame social media for keeping us on our phones and on our computers all the time. But it's actually causing people to go and explore. Let's think about, not too long ago, Pokemon Go, right? Or some of those.
Oh my goodness.
Right?
I know. Yeah.
It's so funny. It's so funny to talk about, but what did it make people do? It made people go outside and walk around and, take little trips here and there. It's just kind of funny how it works out. So these people who come to get an experience, what does the process look like? So let's say if somebody listening right now says, gosh, this sounds really amazing. I'd love to go out to Vegas sometime and actually, go hiking or go on a tour. What does the process actually look like? How do they start? If they just discovered you, what do they do?
Yeah, absolutely. So let's say they go on Yelp, right? And they type in kayaking in Las Vegas. I pop up, got awesome reviews there. You find me, you give me a call. Hey, Blair, we're staying at Caesar's Palace. Is there any way to get on a tour tomorrow? I look on my calendar. Yeah, Joe Schmo. Absolutely. Let's get you on a tour. I go ahead, book you in, and I come pick you up at your hotel. I pick you up. Everything is covered. There's not a thought process that you have to put into this. I come, I pick you up. I bring you to an awesome spot that overlooks the entire strip, which is an amazing view. About half an hour outside of the city, I take you there. We bring you down to whatever tour you booked for that day. So let's go ahead for ease of this conversation. Let's say you booked Emerald Cave, right? So I pick you up, I bring you to the overlook. We get a couple minute I can't even really say hike in, but we get you a couple minutes in, get your heart rate going, overlook, you get to see the entire. We jump back in the vehicle. I then take you to the Emerald Cave launch point, which is Willow Beach. I take you there, and then we jump in. I teach you, if you've never kayaked before, I teach you the basics. And then by the end of the trip, you're a pro, obviously. But let's say you're a beginner. I show you, we do our safety briefing. Even if you've gone before, we still do a safety briefing with you. And then we make our way up. And through that, you're going to see some amazing views. 2 tours ago, we saw bighorn sheep right on the edge of the water.
Wow.
So literally like 15 feet away from us. Again, the last tour I did, they were quite a bit far away. I have a little secret spot that no other tour company operates out of. And we were doing a nice little picnic, and I recognized the sound of rocks falling. So not near us, don't get me wrong. We're in a very safe spot. Yeah, I quickly had to change that one. No, but yeah, no, I heard some rocks falling in the distance, and I was like, "Ooh, that sounds like bighorn sheep crawling around." Sure enough, it took me a couple seconds, but I was able to spot them out and show those to our guests. And yeah, those ones were quite far. But take you to Emerald Cave, you get to see the natural phenomenon, especially during the summertime. I'll have to send you a picture of it, but basically the sun, when the sun is illuminating, it turns the cave bright green waters. It's absolutely amazing. Really cool. And then take you to a nice little picnic spot. Like I said, my last tour, we saw bighorn sheep far away. And then after that, take you to a nice little beach to where you get to kind of have a secluded beach, which you'd never think of when you visit Vegas. So it's kind of cool. Picturesque for sure. Cool. And the water's green there. It doesn't turn the bright green that it does at the caves, but it's still a great photo opportunity. And then I take you on a little hike and show you some of the pretty neat features that have occurred over years and years of nature, basically. And you have opportunity to jump in the water. So a lot of people are a little hesitant because the water is 53 degrees year round. So when we're in winter and we're getting snow, it's 53 degrees. And then when we're at 115 degree weather, it's still 53 degrees, which at that point is refreshing. Also, the other day we saw a bald eagle literally 10 feet away from us at most. Yeah, it was really neat. We have hawks, falcons. We have amazing. We have over 240 species of birds out here at Lake Mead. So that's another awesome experience. And then we grab a nice light lunch so you're not too bogged down. We kayak back, and I take you back to your hotel room, and I give you guys high fives and any advice that you need while you're out in Vegas.
Awesome. Well, very cool. I mean, it sounds like you've thought the experience through pretty, there's there. And people are pretty happy with it. I mean, you said that they leave some pretty good reviews on Yelp, right?
Yeah, I've gotten some amazing reviews. Before I actually started my own company, I have been to over 44 countries in my life.
Oh, wow.
And a lot of them I do tours myself. So there's been moments in time that I've done tours to where I'm just like, wow, this tour guide is phenomenal. I want to be like that. And I've been a dive master for 8 years plus. So, it's kind of stuck with me. Some prominent features that I've done that I'm like, wow, I want to do that. I want to be that person. So I kind of brought that into my own company here.
That's pretty awesome. And now you're that guy.
Yeah.
Very cool.
That's been, thank you.
Well, we've been, working with each other for several months now. What was it? Was it October or November, September, October, November, somewhere around there? last year that we started working
Yeah, I
with
believe
each other?
around September.
Yeah.
September, you and I started first talking about it, and
Hmm.
then I think October is when I officially launched. On the down low. Let's say that I got all my
Yeah.
registrations, I got all my licenses, and it's been a long process. I had to go through a bunch of different hurdles in order to launch this officially. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think October was the real starting and grinding away point for you and I.
Yeah. And this isn't your first business that you've started.
No, nope, not my first one. Mm,
But a
yeah,
lot of
so I
challenges.
origin yeah, so I originally launched as Vegas Golden Hikes, but then as time went on, I realized, wow, I don't want to just stop at hiking. So that's when you and I kind of collabed on a different name and ended up at Venture Out Vegas, so we can incorporate more than just hiking. So,
Absolutely.
um,
And so you've got hiking, you've got kayaking. What other type of tours do you think are make themselves available as an opportunity in Vegas?
can you say it one more time? I'm sorry, you broke up a little bit.
Oh yeah. So what other type of tours besides kayaking and hiking do you think are available to you in the Vegas area?
Oh man, there's so much. Um, I mean, really, yeah, are you saying for my company alone, or are you saying for all the companies out here?
Yeah, I
Sorry,
mean for
wasn't
for
there though?
no, you're good. Yeah, tours that you're thinking of opening, like, oh my gosh, I wish we could open this tomorrow, or maybe we could open this 6 months down the road.
Yeah, for sure. So the next year, the only thing I do want to focus on is kayaking and hiking. After that, and the sky is the limit at that point. Shockingly, we do have some amazing scuba diving out here.
Very
So
nice.
that's definitely one area. Like I said, I've been a dive master 8 years, so being underwater is definitely a passion of mine,
Mm,
and definitely something that would be easy for me to put into my own company. But there are some great scuba companies out here right now. So I don't know if it's a market that I will even venture into if I ever do anytime soon. But that would
mm.
definitely be a top priority, if any. And then after that, I mean, man, there's yeah. Sorry to be so vague on that one, but
No, no, no.
really,
It's all
I
good.
think kayaking and hiking would be the top priority for a while, and
So
then
those are
afterwards,
definitely the focus.
possibly scuba diving. But man, it would be a tough market to get into.
Mm.
But
What makes
something
it
I
so
would
tough to get
definitely
into?
love to. Um, so when you come to Vegas, you already don't really necessarily think of outdoor adventure stuff, yeah.
Right.
And then even more so, scuba diving is on the back burner.
Mm.
Um,
Got it.
so there's already a couple outfitters out here that have really good companies, really good reputations, and it's very difficult to book tours out here. So if
Right.
I were to get into the scuba diving market, it would be something to where I would have to have my own shop, my own gear, my own classes. Like
Mm.
I would be leaving the realm of tourism
Yeah.
to focus more on people that live out here and want to pursue more of their education within the scuba diving field.
Oh,
So
interesting. Okay.
there there
That's
is one scuba diving opportunity out here that if you were able to access the permit for, then you would have a very filled scuba diving tour, and that would be the B-29 bomber that's down in Lake Mead.
oh wow.
But with that being said, there was a scuba diving shop that had it, but Lake Mead had decided that that plane is getting too much usage, so they took the permit away, or did not
Oh,
renew it. Excuse me, did not take it away. Let me
got
rephrase
it.
that. They did not renew the permit, and currently it is not available. But if
Mm.
that were to ever become available, that's a really good one. something that could be very profitable, and something if I wanted to focus just on the tourism aspect, that could be one tour I could just do every day.
Interesting. Well, hopefully an opportunity like that opens up. I know that you're thinking of, down the road expanding to even different cities than Vegas, somewhere Florida, maybe up in the Northeast, or, and I think you mentioned even San Diego.
Yeah, I mean, eventually that definitely could happen. And I think when you and I were discussing the name of, my company, it was one of those things to where let's go ahead and remove Vegas and, put San Diego, put whatever, Florida, venture out Florida, like, everything kind of goes with it.
Yeah.
And, but that's way down the road. That's at least 5 years plus, until I would be able to even launch another city, to be honest. Like, I feel like my plate's already so full.
Right.
So, I'm glad when we did this, we talked about it. So it was something that, okay, eventually we can go ahead and do that pretty easily.
Yeah, absolutely. And tell our listeners about the process that, the experience that you went through working, with me here on, the branding and the marketing and the web design. How was that experience for you?
Absolutely amazing, man.
Oh, thanks.
I mean, that's because you and I worked on a project a while back, and before this company, I think 8-9 years ago, I had an idea with one of my friends, and even then, you rocked the ship. You're amazing, and then this experience has even been better because it's been all me, and I've been able to make those decisions, but with the level of professionalism you have, and your ideas are absolutely amazing. And every idea you've ever dropped to me, I'm able to just approve right then and there. I already know that your ideas are phenomenal, and it's kind of funny how in sync you and I have actually been.
That is kind of funny.
Even if we're on different pages, we're in the same chapter. We're right there. We know, like, we're not on the same word, but we're on the same page. And it's been pretty cool, actually, because a couple of the ideas that you've dropped on me are ideas that I already had, but just hadn't disclosed to you yet. And I feel like vice versa, too.
Yes,
so it's been pretty cool.
Well, thank you for the kind words. It was really interesting that one day we were talking about patches, nature patches.
Jinx.
That was the cool moment where it was I'm gonna put this idea together for Blair. I'm gonna put together a small presentation, and I'm gonna see if he likes it. And then you're like, I was already thinking about patches, and I was like, oh, this is perfect.
Yeah, it was actually
we've had
really
a pretty
funny.
good working relationship, I'd say.
Yeah, I think the only one that we haven't so far has been the logo. And because I was talking about a market design, you were talking about a logo, and I felt like such an idiot. But you've been so patient through it, and I love it. It's amazing working with you. Yeah, for sure.
For context for our listeners, it was so funny. Blair was asking for a logo to be done. But what he meant was a graphic design. He actually wanted something to be put on a t-shirt, some sort of t-shirt design, but was just getting the jargon mixed up, and it's no fault of his own. It was just, we had a good laugh about it. So the good news is that we did land on a logo design, and then you're getting that, you did get a t-shirt design, right?
Yes, I did.
Awesome.
So hopefully that comes out soon. And if any of your listeners want to buy a product of mine, go ahead and pick that up.
And they can get that at ventureoutvegas.com.
Yeah. Yep. I don't think I'm going to launch the clothing aspect for a while, but just shoot me a text or an email or a phone call. We can get that out to you.
Very cool. Sure. Any parting words here before we wrap this up for our listeners? Anything that you'd like to let them know, or how they can, find out more information from you?
Yeah, no, of course. Go to ventureoutvegas.com, or you can go on my Facebook page, Yelp, TripAdvisor, all of those good platforms, Venture Out Vegas. But of course, they really should be using you as their web designer, logo designer, anything else, marketing, everything, because you kick butt.
Oh
I
man,
really do appreciate you.
thank you so much for the kind words. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
Hey,
brother.
really quick, what is a typical, there's a lot of other tour companies around you. What's a typical price range for what can people expect if they've never been out to the Vegas or Henderson area in Nevada? What can they expect to be looking at as far as prices and experiences? I mean, is it apples to apples, or are we, is it apples to oranges here?
Yeah. So that's an interesting question. Because I am offering something else that nobody else is currently, and that's private tours to small groups. So basically what that means is, Chris, you come out here, right? You bring, a couple of your buddies. You look online and you see, kayaking, whatever. And you click on one page. That price could be $129, let's say, right, for the exact same tour that I offer. Mm-hmm. But then there's also another company that charges $199 for that exact same tour.
Oh, wow.
Right. But both of them are operating with, 10 to 12 people in their group. Right. Which is amazing. Don't get me wrong. I'm not all the company outfitters out here are great. Anytime you look them up, you'll see great reviews. But I tried hitting a market that's not here yet, and that's a private tour. So you book me, you might pay $129 or $199 for a group that has 15 people in them, but you book with me at $159, and you actually get a private tour. So it's just you and your 3 friends and myself. And I think it makes the day go a little bit more smoothly, to be honest, because, you come out here with, let's say you do one of the tours with 15 people. For the most part, the tour operators have done a great job at keeping the slower ones maybe in a different group or something like that. But let's say you come out here with your 3 friends, you're with me. Well, then we're all going out pretty much at the same speed. We don't have to worry about, somebody that's booked a tour that's never been outdoors in their life, that just watches TV and, eats potato chips all day. And, and then can't get the paddle in motion. That might be something you might experience on a tour, which I did. Out here, not with the tour operators out here, but on another tour I booked. That's kind of what drove me to, hey, I want to offer private tours.
Yeah.
So I feel like I kept it reasonably priced. I think you and I discussed the price for a while.
Absolutely.
And yeah.
So you're talking about, when you say private tours, just so our listeners understand, private tours. So let's go back to the group tours. You're saying like up to 15 people. These are 15 or 14 other people that you don't know, or that you may not know. Or it could be, 12 other people, you and your 3 friends. There's 12 or 11 people who you don't know, and you're stuck with them just because that is the de facto group size for that particular tour company. Is that right? Is what I'm hearing right?
Exactly.
Got it. So private tours for smaller groups, you're saying like, what's the largest group, the number in the group that you could take as a quote small group?
So as of right now, I am just rocking out like a Jeep Wrangler type of vehicle, right? So currently 4 people max. But like today, I actually got a phone call from a group of 5 people, which obviously my Wrangler does not, or my vehicle does not carry that many people. So what I would do is rent a minivan at that point. So I would be getting all 5 people in the same vehicle.
Got it.
Yeah. So
So this is
As
a
of
much
right
more
now, I mean,
intimate experience.
yes, absolutely. This is definitely a more intimate. Yeah,
Awesome.
absolutely intimate.
Great.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Hello.
Well, that's
But yeah,
awesome. Yeah.
so apples to oranges, I would say more so. But for the most part, yeah, apples to apples. The prices are right there.
Got it. Well, very cool. Well, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you being on here. And for anybody listening, if you're interested in taking a tour of the great outdoors in Nevada, give Blair a call. Hit him up on his website. ventureoutvegas.com is the URL. And as always, stay tuned here on the Nimbus channel for more marketing tips, tricks, and interviews. I'm Chris, and this has been the Nimbus Marketing Podcast. One more time on this guy. Okay. All right. Sync up. There we go. All right.